In this video, I'd like to show you my understanding of the last days of Christ. This is collective information from my visits to Jerusalem and does not represent any formal historical retelling of these events. All of the actions and events I'll describe in this video take place in and around the old city of Jerusalem in Israel. In the days of Christ, Jerusalem was a fortified city. That is, it was a city bound by walls to repel potential invaders. Today, the area of Jerusalem has expanded to include some of those areas that were previously outside of the old city walls. In the days of Christ, Jerusalem was a fortified city. That is, it was a city bound by walls to repel potential invaders. Today, the area of Jerusalem has expanded to include some of those areas that were previously outside of the old city walls. Jerusalem was built within an area of 12 hills. The first is the Mount of Olives, from which the view we're going to show of the road Christ took on Holy Thursday. The Mount of the Ascension, the point from which Jesus ascended to heaven, is directly adjacent to the Mount of Olives. The Temple Mount, on which the Dome of the Rock is built, is the second most holy site in the Islam religion. This hill is within the walls of the Old City. Within the wall of the Old City of Jerusalem, there are several gates. The Golden Gate, also known as Herod's Gate, is somewhat centered in the wall facing us in this picture. Now let's focus on Mount Zion. This is the location of the building in which the Last Supper occurred. As the story begins on Holy Thursday evening, Jesus and the apostles have gathered in the upper chamber of the cenacle, the building that houses the tomb of David. This is the site of what we now know as the Last Supper. This scene has been captured by Leonardo da Vinci in his famous painting. After their shared meal, Jesus and the apostles walked down the road from the cenacle on Mount Zion, approximately 1.1 miles along the road through the Kidron Valley to the Garden of Gethsemane, which is at the base of the Mount of Olives. Jesus prayed in the garden before Judas's betrayal. The Garden of Gethsemane may have been larger and more vegetated than it is today. However, today it's most noteworthy for the centuries-old olive trees that still live there. After Judas's betrayal, the Roman soldiers took Jesus across the road to the closest gate in the walled city of Jerusalem, the Lion's Gate. When I was younger, listening to the stories of the Stations of the Cross, I assumed that this was a great distance. However, in reality, it's just under a kilometer, approximately 950 yards long. Many of the Stations of the Cross are quite close together. Just inside the Lion's Gate, to the right, is a building known as Pilate's Judgment Hall. This is the location at which Pontius Pilate declared that Jesus should be put to death for his teachings against the accepted scholars of the day. Outside of Pilate's Judgment Hall is a courtyard. Among the spectators of the day, Jesus was crowned as King of the Jews with the crown of thorns. After the crowning of thorns, the soldiers forced Jesus to carry the crucifix upon which he would be nailed. Leaving the courtyard, Jesus carries the cross, turns to the right, and continues about 300 yards up the alleyway to reach the main concourse road through the market. At the end of the alley, Jesus turns to the left, and about 20 feet from there, station number 3, Jesus falls for the first time. There's a depiction of this over the chapel doorway erected at this spot. Also inside the chapel is a life-size sculpture. Station number 4, Jesus meets his Holy Mother. Approximately 10 to 20 feet from the first fall is the point where Jesus meets his Holy Mother. This is Station of the Cross number 4. Station number 5, Simon of Cyrene is made to bear the cross. This station has always puzzled me. My son Patrick once asked that if the soldiers were trying to humiliate Jesus, why did they ask Simon to help him carry the crucifix the rest of the way? Upon my first walking of the Via Dolorosa, I understood clearly why this was the case. The point at which Simon took up the cross is at the base of a steep incline. In his weakened state, there is probably no way Jesus would have made it up the hill carrying that heavy cross. So the soldiers decided to drag him up the hill and have the largest man they could see in the crowd carry the cross the rest of the way up for him. Along the way up the hill are several other stations of the cross. Station number 6, Veronica wipes the face of Jesus. Station number 7, Jesus falls a second time. Station number 8, the women of Jerusalem weep over Jesus. Station number 9, Jesus falls a third time. The remaining stations of the cross are all located within the Church of the Holy Sepulchre. This church was erected over the site of Calvary, in which Jesus was crucified.
Of the Holy Sepulchre Church. The structure is Crusader period. You can see how it's very old, 1,000 years.
Taking a video chapter.
We go through this church direct to the Golgotha, to the Holy Sepulchre Church, and you can see how it's magnificent.
Station of the Cross, number 10. Jesus is stripped of his garments. Station 11. Jesus is nailed to the cross. Once he was nailed to the cross, it was raised in place. Essentially, the base of the cross was inserted into a hole carved in the stone. Within the Church of the Holy Sepulchre, there is an altar built over this crucifixion site, and there's an opening underneath the altar through which you can reach your hand to actually touch the stone into which the crucifix was inserted. Station 12. Jesus dies on the cross. Station 13. Jesus is taken down from the cross. One of the apostles, who was said to be from a wealthy family, went to the governor and requested that he be allowed to take the body down from the cross before the Sabbath. He was allowed to do so, and with the help of several others, he took Jesus down from the cross and laid him on a stone to prepare his body for burial in the tomb. This stone, also called the Unction Stone, is at the base of the rock of Calvary. Station 14. Jesus is placed in the sepulchre.